Now, the profits tool is pretty straightforward, right? It's really just going to show you what the profitability of a product, cash flow. It's going to help you forecast all of those things. Not that many people use it, but it's a really helpful tool, especially if you're launching a lot of different products or you're considering launching products, because in your niche pipeline, as you fill out more profits, you'll see the metrics there. And then we've given you a few different ways that you can sort products, right? Let's say you're launching a product, you're looking at 50 different ones. We've given you the product scorecard. You can see high positive score is going to be lower risk, big negative score is going to be higher risk. That's one avenue you can decide on which are your best product opportunities. But profits is potentially even more important, because the niche might be, a really good niche. It might be a really good opportunity, but if you don't have enough money to launch the product, or you run out of money, then you're ultimately probably one of the fastest ways that you can fail. So what I want to go through right now is the profits tool. I don't think there's a way that I can just clear all of this out, or maybe it is starting to be cleared out. So basically how the profits tool works is there are a few different sections. You fill out each of these. When you fill them out, then it's going to populate some really cool metrics down in the bottom. And then it's going to also fill in some things in your niche pipeline. So yesterday when I was explaining this, I think I explained it quite well. But the one thing I needed to get a double check on was the sales velocity. So at like 2 a.m, I was messaging Brandon and I was like, hey man, can you give me a better breakdown of sales velocity? And I think I've got it. How to tell our keywords. Brandon search. Okay, beautiful. So basically, when you go through this and fill it out, you're going to want to fill it out correctly, right? There's some technical things in here that you can estimate, but in the end, you're going to want to make sure that the information is actually correct, right? You want this to be based off of, real numbers. When you're first starting off, if you just want to get some general idea of what things cost, you can start off by clicking this populate button. And then you can grab any of the ASINs in your niche. For this one, it's a sneaker cleaner. I think we actually started doing this research in office hours. So I can just grab any one of these. And what it's going to do, if I click, there's one that I was picking yesterday. It's this one. So I can just click OK, and it's going to pull in a lot of the information for me already. It's not going to be, fully done, but it's going to get you some of the way there. So I'm just going to walk through and fill each of these out. So your strategy, first thing is price, right? So again, you're going to want to make sure that you can actually sell at this price. You don't want to just take what the current selling price is. You want to make sure that you can sell this product and get the margins you're going to need to get. But then we've got that. So for sales velocity, this is what I was just looking up. This is going to give you a range, right? You can see here it's saying we recommend you enter sales velocity in the range shown. If you study seller systems trainings on the Amazon algorithm and launching products, you're far more likely to achieve the top range. Basically, what this is telling you is that if you use our launch SOPs, right, you source a good product, you build out your title correctly, you leverage the honeymoon period, you have a listing that actually converts, you've got a good offer. During that first 30-day window when you launch the product, you should, if you're doing everything right, you should shoot up in ranks, and you should be competing with the people that are ranking for about 60 to 70% of the keywords in the master keyword list. And so what you're going to see, like in this category, this is for shoe cleaner. This could potentially mean that you're going to be selling, 6,000, units in a month. It could be somewhere near this top end. So this is something that you want to be careful of. How you can go and inspect this is you can go and look at the master keyword list and look at your competitors. Look at, okay, what are the ones that are in like this 60 to 70% range? So those are going to be the people in orange. Remember, the color coding is anyone red is going to be 80+%. They're ranked on page 1 for the MKL. Anyone in orange is going to be 60+%. So you're looking somewhere in like the orange, maybe the yellow orange range. These are the people that you can expect if you follow the launch strategies to be in the range of selling, right? So that's why I wanted to pick this brand. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Rejuvenate. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. But you can look here and you can see what are they selling in terms of sales. They're selling 1,567 units a month, right? So they're ranked on page 1 for 60% of the keywords. I would estimate that if I have a good launch strategy, I'm going to be able to compete somewhere in this range, right? So for right now, I'm just going to put in 1,567 into my profits tool, and that is estimating my 1,567. That's estimating my sales velocity, right? Then we've got our production lead time. Again, this is going to be in by 2 weeks for default. I'm going to put in like 4 weeks. I think that's a little bit more realistic. Very few manufacturers are actually going to, I mean, you can get your product done in 2 weeks, but typically you're going to see a 4-week plus lead time. And then based on the day that you put this in, I believe it's going to, maybe it doesn't automatically adjust what this date is. I think you have to just click it yourself, but it's going to say production ends. If we're in May, 4 weeks from now is going to be not June, but more of July, just to be safe. And then we've got our target tacos, right? This is your total advertising cost of sale. We have this in at 10%. I'm going to put this in a little bit higher because, we're launching. And so now, based on this calculation, it's saying that products for order, we want to be getting like 6,200 pieces, right? Then I'm going to move on to product design, right? So I filled out that first part. Product design is all about, how large the product is going to be, what the shipping weight is going to be. And so for right now, obviously, I'm not launching this product. This is just for a demo. This is pulling everything in from that other brand. I'm going to call it Rejuvenate. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But it's just going to pull in all of these things for me automatically. So the dimensions, the shipping weight, we've got if the product is apparel or dangerous goods, this is just going to be standard. It's just cleaning liquid that's going to help you clean your shoes. So I don't think there's anything dangerous about that. And then I think this is I'd have to double check too to see if this is in the right category, but we've got clothing and accessories here. And then just some extra considerations here. Like if you had lithium batteries, it's going to have a special handling fee or any other special handling fees. So it's telling me that this is the large standard size. And based on these product dimensions and my shipping weight, this is going to be $5.67 for the FBA fee. Then on shipping and packaging, right? If it was getting shipped just in a poly bag, you'd click this. This is not getting shipped just in a poly bag. So it's not going to be able to go in an envelope. This is going to be the size of the actual box, right? So this is your product dimensions. This is the shipping size. I believe this is all pulled in from the other. It's pulled in from it's going to automatically calculate what box size you're going to need based on your product design. So this is all done. So I can get rid of that. I can close that. And then we've got shipping and packaging. So is it polybag packaging? Oh, no, I just did that. So just got to click one down. And then we've got shipping costs. So if you're shipping right now, we only give you the option to ship from China. So we have had this requested in the future. Like, what if your product is not shipping from China? What if it's shipping from anywhere else in the world? You're sourcing and you're shipping from Vietnam, or you're shipping from, maybe it's a domestic product, right? You're importing it from Mexico. Right now, we just have China in here, but you can specify if you want to take it, if you're, if the freight is going to land in the West Coast, East Coast, or Central. I think maybe we'll just update that one day. And then what we can do here too is we can decide, are we going to be doing, directly to Amazon? Are we going to 3PL? And are we doing an LCL? So less than container load. So you're splitting that container with other sellers, right? Other products are coming in. Or are you doing an FCL, full container load? So if you're just starting off and launching for the first time, you probably won't be doing a full container load unless you have like real fat budgets, got a lot of money, and you have a lot of inventory that you're working. You're probably going to have to split a container in the beginning. So for right now, because I'm just going to say this is my first launch, I'm just going to do Ocean LCL direct to Amazon. I think that's a pretty realistic scenario. But later down the road, I would probably switch that to Ocean FCL, and that would be going to a 3PL, right? So I'm not going to ship all of my inventory, a full container load directly into Amazon unless I'm just selling through this stuff and I'm really confident. I'm probably going to send it to a 3PL first. And as the inventory is needed by Amazon, I'm probably going to ship it over to Amazon. So I'm going to keep that for right now. And it's going to calculate what my freight cost is. So I've got like $3,600 per order. It's going to break that down into the duration of how long it's going to take. It's going to give you all of these metrics here. So moving on into order P&L. This is telling us what our manufacturing cost is per product. I don't know actually where it's pulling this off, if it's pulling it from the other seller. What I could do really quick is if I went to like Alibaba, like 1688. Let's just see here. This is like a sneaker cleaning kit. Now, obviously, you want to go and negotiate with your suppliers, right? You want to go and source. You want to go and spend the time actually doing this. But if I type in, oh, I shouldn't have done this. But if I type in like shoe cleaning, Go a little slow. Slow. I just want to see how much you can source one of these things for. I've been looking at this product because we've been shooting the demo for quite a while. And this internet shoe cleaning kit. Okay, so maybe the price on there actually is pretty reasonable. So it's like $2 to $5. I think it's importing like $4.19. So I'm going to keep that right now. We've got our custom duties on there, and then it's going to calculate all of our freight costs here and for our order P&L. And then the last one here is budget required to launch. So we're recommending that you're going to set aside 20% of your revenue. And so the reason this is so high is because the sales velocity for this category is so high. I think the number one seller of shoe cleaning kits is selling like $500,000 a month in revenue of shoe cleaning kits. So what this is breaking down is it's saying we're going to set aside 20% of our launch costs just to do launch marketing. So this could be anything like you are going and designing your product packaging, right? You're doing your logos, your branding, you're building your A+ content. Maybe you're getting some trademarks so that you can do brand registry, right? Obviously, you need to do a photography shoot. You need to, video if you want to do some influencer marketing to get some user-generated content prior to launch, right? That's all included in there. So 20% on this order is going to be quite large. And then we also recommend having the cash reserve for the second order. Here we have it in at 50%. And then so it's just going to give you these breakdowns, and it's going to tell you, how many weeks you're stocking for, the number of turns you're going to be able to do in a year, first year of revenue, based on the sales velocity, first year cost, and first year P&L, right? So the really cool thing about this is once I get all the way down to the bottom, right now I can see based on my shipping method, I can see what my gross profit margin is going to be. I can see my ROI here, right? Right now, this is a very, very inexpensive product to source, and we're selling it for a very high price point. What I want to do is I want to look back at my master keyword list and just see, I think $38 for a shoe cleaning kit is nuts. I think I just pulled that in incorrectly. So you can see here, actually, when it imports the data, I'm not 100% sure exactly what it imports when you click populate, if it's just product dimensions, like what it shows there. So I definitely need to change my price point, right? The average price point of this is $17.75 in this niche, or the median price point rather, not the average, is $17.75. So I definitely should not have my price point at $38. So you can see here, it's painting a very bright picture. Like if I launch this product, right, I'm getting like somewhere around 200% ROI. That's a red flag. That's not correct. So I need to actually change my selling price. I'm going to say like $17.99, or maybe when I launch it, go even a little bit cheaper, try to be on the lower end. It's like $15.99, right? So now this is all going to change, and you can see, ooh, now it's not such a bleak picture anymore. Because remember, guys, I'm sourcing this product. This is going to really come down a lot into, let's see where we got order P&L. Yeah. So I'd really have to, even at $4.19, because you can see here, it's breaking down, okay, at the top of each of these tabs, if you have them minimized, you can see, okay, I'm going to need 6,000 products per order to hit that sales velocity. Right, so this is going to be a big budget product. My FBA fee is already $5.67. Freight costs 59 cents, right? So I'm going to have to probably figure out how to source this even cheaper. I am looking though, and I'm seeing, it's so funny because on Amazon, I see this exact same thing, but just with a different, I see all of these things. I can look through, I'm getting this exact same kit. So this is for a 5,000 piece MOQ. It looks like $1.30 to $1.40. So I think my price point that I have, I was just looking at this $2 to $5 for 5,000 pieces. But I think that's probably way on the high end. Again, you're going to have to figure all these things out yourself. This is just kind of walking you through how to do this. But I'm going to actually change now my order P&L, and I'm going to change that. Like maybe I could get that to, I don't know. We'll just be conservative and we'll say like $2. So that's going to take my cost of goods down by like 50%. So now again, you can see every change that you make to this calculator, it's going to be a little bit cleaner, a little bit cleaner, a little bit cleaner. So you can see just how if I would change this down to like, if I could get this down to like $1.20 per piece, right? The ROI is now, at 100%, which is good, unless I'm doing air, but you're not going to ship that many units over air. So that's basically it, guys. Most important thing though, here at the bottom is the budget required to launch, right? So this could look like a really great product idea, but I don't have $50,000 right now that I can invest into this. And the reason that I need $50,000 is because, remember, it's not just about that first order. I need to have some safety for that second order, right? So that, it's going to take 4 weeks in manufacturing lead time. It's going to take 10 weeks at sea. We're talking a significant amount of time to get the inventory in. And if you have ever watched our videos or you're in seller systems, the biggest mistake that people make, right? I used to own an agency for 5 years. I've seen this as well. Biggest mistake that people make is they do not order enough inventory, right? They follow our launch strategies. Things go very, very well. Some would say they go too well. And so they sell through all their inventory much faster than they were expecting, right? And then they run out of stock. And when you run out of stock, you are losing all of that performance every single day that you're not getting clicks, you're not getting conversions, you're not getting sales, right? It's going to hurt your organic ranks. So that's really going to be bad. So what a lot of people do is they come into this category and they're like, okay, well, look, this person here is selling $449,000 a month of shoe cleaner, right? And they're like, I don't need to sell $449,000 a month. I only, look, this person over here way down on the end, like, let's look at this person. They're this is too low. I think you'd be happy. You're like, I'd love to sell $11,000 a month, right? This is much more in line with what I want to do. But what they don't realize is you can see here, like I was saying earlier, right? Some of these brands, they're only ranked on like 50% of the master keyword list on page 1. So they look here and they're like, yeah, I only really want to sell $10,000 a month of this product. And so that's what they look at for their budget to launch, how many products they're going to need. But what happens is they launch the product, they follow the launch SOPs, it goes very well, and then the sales are actually much higher. And so they end up going through their inventory like, twice or 3 times as fast as they expect. They go out of stock. All of that work they did, their ranks shoot up, right? They're hanging with the big boys, and then it all goes south, right? And then they have to spend a lot of time recovering. They have to relaunch the product. It's a huge pain. So really important to use this profits tool from a basis of cash flow forecasting, not just to figure out how profitable the product is going to be, but most important, how much money you're going to need to not only launch the product, but to sustain it and to do a reorder after that, right? I remember when I launched my very first product, I was working with my business partner at the time. We launched the product. It was a travel product. And within a few weeks, we were the #1 seller. We had the best seller badge. We were killing it. And I had put all this money into the product. We were like a couple months in. And then I'm like, okay, man, cool. When do we get to start making money? And he's like, no, we have to go and take double the amount of money that we used to launch the product. And we have to put an even bigger inventory order in, because that's just how Amazon works. It's a very cash intensive business. So cash flow forecasting, super important. Last thing that I'm going to show you before we open it up for Q&A is the benefits of filling this out is niche pipeline, right? So you've seen like product scorecard. I haven't filled this out for the sneaker cleaner kit yet, but you can see here, if I scroll all the way over to the right, these are all the metrics that you'll normally see. But if you're looking here and your profitability columns are blank, you can have those filled in. All you have to do is fill out the profits tab. I think my camera's going to die, so we'll just keep an eye on that. But yeah, you can see here that it's going to show you all of these metrics, right? So imagine I was doing a lot of different, imagine I was doing a lot of product research, and you know, now I can group not only by what the score is on the product scorecard, but I could group products now by, okay, cool, here's all of my really high positive scores in the product scorecard, but what's going to give me the highest ROI? Or I could filter by my budget required to launch, and I could say, all right, well, I only have a $20,000 product to launch. So yeah, the product scorecard is telling me this is a great opportunity. It's a low risk product, right? But I don't have $50,000. So unless I get $50,000 to do the initial launch, I can almost be certain if I launch this product with 10 grand, it's probably not going to go very well, right? So this is just another avenue. Or you could look at revenue, right? Maybe you're trying to hit different revenue goals for your business, and you're like, whatever it is, you can filter by a lot of these different things. The last thing I'm going to show, and then we're going to open it up to Q&A, is this columns tab. I don't think I've emphasized this enough, but right now inside of your niche pipeline, it shows a million different things, right? There's like 50 plus things that you can choose from. And so you might be like, man, I don't use notes, or, someone was asking yesterday in office hours. Let's see if I can scroll over to it. Someone was asking yesterday in office hours about the hero keywords column. There might be a lot of things in here that you don't use, right? And so that's what the columns tab here is for. You can see I've actually removed the hero keywords tab because I just don't use it. I'm going to go through before the next office hours and try to clean this up, but just some tips there. All right, everyone, that's the profits tool. It's super simple. You just fill it out and it's going to give you profit calculations. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. And thanks for joining.